Memorial Day, April 30th, 1868, is accredited as the first official U.S. recognized holiday of Memorial Day. Now, back then, it was known as Decoration Day. But did you know the origins of this holiday began with Southerners honoring their Confederate dead after the War between the States? Now, there are many accounts. This is kind of a debated issue in the Southern communities of who was the first to have Confederate Decoration Day. There are accounts that I've seen here in the Shenandoah Valley as far back as 1866, 67, 68. There are accounts in Kingston, Georgia, of the ladies honoring their Confederate dead in 1865. I think most Southern historians believe, though, that the real first recognized holiday for Southerners occurred in Columbus, Georgia in 1866. But regardless, there are many, many accounts all throughout the South since the surrender at Appomattox that Southern ladies in particular and their organizations were honoring their Confederate dead. Now, 25% of Southern men, roughly, never returned home. After the war, the South was devastated economically and socially. Homes had been destroyed and looted, and Southern women took it upon themselves to honor the Confederate dead. There's one historical account, though, that I find very interesting because it really is the originator of Memorial Day. Now, there was a U.S. Major General named John F. Logan whose wife was traveling through Petersburg in 1868, and she witnessed the decoration of Confederate graves there in Petersburg, Virginia. She then told her husband, hey, we should have some type of U.S. national holiday honoring U.S. veterans. And Mr. Logan is the one who is responsible for originating the Memorial Day that the U.S. government recognizes today. But if you trace it back, you understand that the real story begins with Southerners honoring their Confederate dead. So no matter what you believe, we think it's very appropriate that we honor our Confederate dead on Memorial Day, as Southerners have always done prior. They did it on prior other dates as well, and there are organizations today like the Sons of Confederate Veterans, the United Daughters of the Confederacy, who are solely dedicated to honoring the Confederate soldier and their service. Now, I can't do a video without featuring one of my favorite products, and this week it is Valor in Gray. Now, what makes this book special is that it features all of the soldiers who received the Confederate Medal of Honor. Many of you probably have never heard of that. Was there even one? Well, officially, according to the Confederate government, there was never an official Confederate Medal of Honor. This came out after the war between the states from many of these organizations dedicated to honoring the Confederate soldier. Now, the Confederate Medal of Honor, not many of them were given out. I'm talking dozens. Whereas with the Southern Cross of Honor, which we sell a reproduction of in our store here and also on ConfederateShop.com, there were tens of thousands of those given out. Actually, there was a little over 70,000 of those given out. Soldiers could either get a beautiful iron cross put on their grave, or they could receive the medal. Many of the soldiers, actually the veterans, were buried with those medals. But regardless, there are stories of heroism for those that received the Confederate Medal of Honor. And there is a book, Valor in Gray, that outlines all of these soldiers' stories. And it's phenomenal. I can't wait until my son gets a little older so I can read some of these stories to him. Greg Clemmer is a phenomenal writer. And like I said, I can't talk this book up enough. I'm going to have it on sale this weekend as well. And also, I'll probably have on sale the Southern Cross of Honor as well as our Memorial Day bookmark. But I just wanted to make a short video outlining the origins of Memorial Day and how Memorial Day goes all the way back to Southerners and Southern states honoring their Confederate dead. So I hope you all have a wonderful Memorial Day. Thank you for supporting our shop here and our work here, ConfederateShop.com and Crossroads Country Store. Bye-bye.